From Abuja, the nation's capital, this is Matters Arising, coming to you live from the studio of KAFTAN Television. Matters Arising is the flagship talk show of KAFTAN Television that features in-depth discussions and analysis of topical and trending national and international issues by our team of seasoned broadcast journalists. My name is Macauley Hunohashi, saying thanks for joining us.
My name is Dayo Omoogun. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okechukwu Onubogu here. Good to have you there.
We welcome you to today's show, which promises to be engaging, incisive, and interactive as usual. You can also be a part of the conversation by calling our number 080-2993-8365, which will be displayed on your screen later in the course of the show. Gentlemen, I think this is more than coincidence that 1, 2, 3, Okechukwu, Dayo, the three of us are putting on glasses, and I'm very sure they are not sunshades.
No, they are not. They're definitely not.
Could this be coincidence? I don't think it's coincidence, Okechukwu.
It's not coincidence.
Since I've known you, you have always been wearing glasses.
Oh, well, there's something I read about the health journal years back, before I got to be 40. I read it and they said that by the time you get to be 40, you should start going to the hospital to check your eyes so as to ensure that you don't spoil your eyes. If you need glasses, you pick them. So by the time I got to be 40, I went to the hospital to check my eyes. I started feeling somehow anyway. So I went to the hospital to check my eyes. And after checking, they said I needed glasses. And so I started wearing glasses.
And they are not comfortable anyway.
Well,
what about you?
Well, first of all, I need to say that some glasses are thicker than others. And I think that my glasses take the...
take the lead.
Yes, I really very thick.
By the way, exactly what you asked, Okechukwu, is what someone wrote as a comment on the picture I just uploaded on my Facebook page about a day or two ago. He said, I've never seen you before without your glasses. This is your first time.
Really?
Yes, and that's true. I wear it almost all
the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Many people cannot do without glasses. But anyway, before I introduce our topic of discussion, let's join Sifon Imo for a quick roundup of events and happenings in the polity.
The Nigeria Inter-Religious Council, NIRC, led by the duo of Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto, and Archbishop Daniel Oko, President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has called for an immediate end to the ongoing End Bad Governance protests across the country. In a statement on Friday, NIRC acknowledged the hardship in the country, but noted that civil unrest is not the solution. It also urged security agencies to be more professional in the discharge of their duties while appealing to government to expedite action towards meeting the yearnings and needs of the citizens. Meanwhile, protests have continued across the country on day 2 of the End Bad Governance protest. In Abuja, policemen used tear gas to forcefully disperse a group of protesters around the Berger Bridge junction. In Lagos, protesters converged around the Ojota Freedom Park, and in Port Harcourt, protesters converged at the Federal Secretariat area chanting solidarity songs. Still on the nationwide protest, Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has visited some of the spots affected by destruction on day 1 of the nationwide strike. Some of the affected places include the Nigerian Communication Commission's ICT Park and other facilities in the city. The Kano State government had declared a 24 hours curfew on Thursday to restore normalcy in the state. Now, the Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has approved the removal of the chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission (SIEC), Dr. John Chem. The State House of Assembly had on Wednesday recommended the removal of the SIEC chairman who was accused of poor judgment. A statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Kula Tersu, said that Governor Alea has directed the chairman to immediately hand over to the Administrative Secretary of the Commission. That is all on the news roundup. I am Sifon Omo.
Welcome back, and thanks to Siphon for bringing us up to speed with news making the headlines. And now to our topic of discussion tonight, which is the ongoing nationwide protest. The much anticipated hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest commenced on Thursday, August the 1st, 2024. Despite threats, withdrawals and appeals, Nigerians trooped out in their numbers to speak out against perceived bad government policies that have brought untold hardship to citizens. The protests were peaceful in some states, but in some states it turned out violent as people suspected to be hoodlums vandalized and looted public and private property. Day one of the protests could be adjudged a successful one based on the compliance across the country, but the avoidable and unfortunate loss of lives is highly regrettable and condemnable. At least no fewer than 21 protesters, including a policeman, reportedly lost their lives on August the 1st. This is even as some states have declared curfews to curb further violence. The protest has continued on day 2. Protesters have vowed to remain on the streets until government access to their demands. Well, gentlemen, this is quite unfortunate, like I mentioned earlier on. And what comes to mind is how some Nigerians unscrupulously used social media negatively to misinform people and cause confusion. One that comes to our attention was, one social media influencer that, dished out, medley of lies against the Nigerian police. And the Nigerian police FCT command had to issue out a rebuttal today. And before we go into this conversation proper, let me read a press statement that the police command issued, and I'll cut it verbatim because this report reaching us not too long ago. The FCT Police Command has responded to recent allegations circulating on social media regarding purported plans by the Commissioner of Police to incite unrest. This follows a tweet on X handled by popular social media influencer depicting police anti-riot equipment alongside the misleading claims. In a swift rebuttal, the command has categorically refuted these allegations as false and mischievous. They clarified that the Commissioner of Police foremost duty is to uphold public safety within the bounds of the law. Commissioner of Police FCT Bennett Igwe reiterated the command's unwavering commitment to safeguarding citizens and urged residents to disregard the misinformation, emphasizing that the intent behind such allegations is to sow unnecessary fear and panic. And the press statement was signed by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer Josephine Ade, is Superintendent of Police. I like this rebuttal. It was swift, it was timely, it was auspicious, because if you don't rebut that kind of misinformation emanating from, popular social media influencer that has huge following, it could exacerbate this protest that we are talking about. Everybody wants to see, the end to this crisis. I don't want to witness day 3, truly, and I don't think any discerning Nigerian would want to witness the 3rd day, the 4th day, up to the 10th day, because you don't know what's going to happen. I had an interview with someone today who said they didn't want to join the protest in the first place, but they have seen that government is not ready to bring the leaders of the protesters on a round table, to find a lasting solution. That could lead them to join by tomorrow.
It could lead them to join by tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that.
It's quite a pity that it looks as though the people in authority are becoming I want to use the word senseless to the problems of the people.
Or insensitive.
Insensitive, if you want. I think it's better. Insensitive to the problems of the people. You see, but I must say that I saw the governor of Rivers State. Yeah. He invited the support. They came to the government house, and he came out and addressed them even saying that he was part of them, and that he encouraged them and encouraged them not to let anything make it go bloody or negative. Let them continue the pace with which they were going, at the pace with which they were going. And he also encouraged the police to just support them and help them to ensure that no bad blood is injected into what they are doing. And that's a commendable move by that governor of Rivers State. And I heard another governor later today. I heard another governor from the north. I don't know. I can't remember whether it's Adamawa or no. Apart from that,
okay,
Adamawa or somewhere, saying something else, and he was saying, I can't remember. The governor of KB State. I saw him.
Okay,
he was just talking as though he is not here in this country. I said, how can such a person be talking like this? What do you want the people to accept? He was talking in a way that wasn't okay. Even I saw the governor of Zamfara State too. That one was saying that this is not part of their faith. That no, if it's not Zamfara, it will be another one. I can't remember. But he said it's not part of their faith. That he is a Muslim. Yes, that they don't protest. And if anybody is poor, it is what Allah has permitted. And so it's only Allah that can change things. You don't tell people things like this when you are a leader. You know, I'm showing a kind of difference, you know, a contrast. The first one said something meaningful. The other ones are saying things that are, as far as I know, are not meaningful. You see, at a time like this, what we expect the leaders to do is do like the River State governor, come out and just like the Kano State governor also try to relate with his people in a better way. These are the things we need to see. Let them relate with them, come out and meet them, discuss with them and tell them, give them a hope, even if to you it is false, but give them this hope so that they can go home and relax and let's see what will happen again. But I mean, just as you said, you wouldn't like to see day 3, but definitely there'll be day 3. There'll be day 3. And just as you also mentioned, some of these fellows that have not joined will decide to come out because they are seeing that the government is not responding to them, so as to give the protest more bite. But as always, I am worried about the economy. This thing will definitely affect the economy of the nation.
I know you'll be worried about the economy.
Yes, you know, and that already someone has put something out there that each day this thing happens, that the nation loses 6 billion naira. Now, so for the 30 days, for the 10 days, we are losing 60 billion naira. Yeah. I mean,
that's approximately.
Approximately.
Yeah. Because
every right-thinking leader should consider this thing and call them to sit down with them and talk and see what could happen.
Okay. Before Dayo says something, I can see he's itching. I want to remind our viewers that our producer is going to display the telephone number right away on the screen so that you can begin to call to make the program interesting, conversational, and interactive. Dayo, you have the floor.
You know, communication is very critical to conflict resolution. The situation we're in now, the silence of government can be interpreted as arrogance, can be interpreted as self-serving, can be interpreted as being distant. And all these traits do not help the image of the government one bit. And if this continues, and I was on the streets this afternoon, and the protesters are very clear that they want the president to speak to Nigerians. And so if that's all it takes, speaking to Nigerians and making some promises, I think that that's simple enough for the government to do. But the current stance of government is as if it sounds like go to hell.
Okay, Dayo, hold your thoughts there. We have a first caller. Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. You are on. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Mr. Eric. I'm calling from Benue.
Okay, Eric from Benue State. Please go ahead with your contribution. And make it snappy. You're on.
The government knows what is going on. Comfortably, they know everything that's going on. They know how to plan a protest.
Okay.
Very soon they know how to inject people into this protest to stop this protest. The plans are already on ground. Let us tell each other the truth. Let us not lie to ourselves. This protest is for our good. The people there are suffering it. We too, the poor masses are also suffering it. How long shall we continue like this? We have witnessed protests in other Western world where people come out, occupy very prominent places and say they will not live there until the government meets their need. How long shall we continue in doing the wrong thing? The good book, the Bible says something. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid.
Thank you.
We all know these things. How can we continue? This is what I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric from Benue State. But my joy is that there is calm after the storm. Yesterday it was, it was violent in so many states, but today there is some form of calmness because, let me say, the semblance of calmness. You went out today, Dayo, you agree with me that the situation was a bit calm today.
If you ask me,
reports reaching us indicates that yes, there was calm. What happened yesterday in Kano did not repeat itself today. Yeah, but what I witnessed personally today is that it's actually security forces who have the tendency to escalate this matter, because we were witnesses when they began to shoot canisters of tear gas and even shot. There were gunshots in the air, and personally I saw where they handled one or two persons, hitting them to the ground and dealing them blows and all that. That's not necessary. It's totally not necessary, because the people have conducted themselves so far very reasonably, very peaceably. And so I think that what the forces need to do will be to remain as civil as possible. Okay.
Look at
thoughts. Okay. You're going to react to that. Well, let's take this caller. You are an Onubogu caller today.
Hello.
Tonight, your name, please, and where you're calling from. We can hear you loud and clear.
My name is James Rex. I'm calling from Okechukwu State.
Fred, go ahead, please, with your contribution.
Yeah, I want to say something concerning this protest.
Go ahead, it's your show.
I don't think there is any big deal on this aspect. It's like a father having some children in his house, and the children say, "Daddy, I want this." Yes, even if it's difficult for the father will look at it again and see how he can help out with this issue. Just like the president, the people say they are hungry. Daddy, we are hungry. What would the president do? It's just for him to talk to the children and say, okay, this is what I can do. So this thing is bringing more problems than it should. So let the president talk to the people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Fred.
The president will want to talk to his people. Well, I wonder when that will happen, because in actual fact, it's in this administration that we've not had any press briefing from the president himself. You know, the way we have we had monthly meetings with the press under Obasanjo, and later other people just tried to do something even before Obasanjo. After Obasanjo rather. Goodluck Jonathan did that very well. Yes. And even the man that wasn't that strong tried to reach out to the press. I mean, Yaradua, before he left. And Buhari wasn't so keen on doing it, but he eventually found the need and started. And our own president right now has stayed for one year and 2 months, and is not found it meaningful to talk to the press, you see, and talk to the people. So this thing they say, talk to the people. And let me also say that Edo State that is supposed to be a flashpoint, as they always say, has been so peaceful. It
has been peaceful.
And kudos to the governor too, who also took that.
On that kudos, let's take this caller. Good evening, this is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television Studios, live in Abuja.
It is very well.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Hello? Let's take that. We're going to talk to the next caller. Reduce the volume of your television set, please, and then talk to us. Reduce the volume. Reduce the volume. We can hear you.
Good evening, Presenter.
Good evening. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
I'm Omoogun.
Tadio from Ondo State.
Okay, Tadio from Ondo State.
This issue has been discussed before the protest started. What our people need is food. We want the cost of food items to go down. Then two, the issue of fuel to go down. Then let's have enough importation of food items from other countries. Let's open border. That's what we mean. Then it's not that the president did not know what to do, but that is the area where we are going to tackle. There's the area where we're supposed to tackle all these things. Then by and large, the issue of we must not see ourselves as special players. One group that is greater than another group. That is to say, look at, for example, a teacher. When a teacher is being paid 150,000 naira, then you have the teachers are the people that teach people that they are out of Senate. When these people come back home, they'll be looking at them as if they are superior than them. So let's have this range of salary. I think one time, one of the House of Senate reps said to cut down their salary. Why did he say that? Because he knows the government is cheating on some other people. Look at people now. Look at the security now. They are working day in day out now that to ensure that there are safety of life and property over the protest. Now, how much are these people taking home? How much are these people taking home? A House of Rep will be guided by security. Then how much are they paying there? How many times this House of Rep, for example, I'm only giving an illustration, it's not capitalized on only House of Rep. I mean, all our politicians. Okay. How much are they receiving? How much are they paying those people that save their house?
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a nice day. Are you in charge from Ondo State?
Thank you very much from Ondo State.
Talking about this salary of members of House of Reps and all that. Yes, he mentioned the fact that someone spoke. It was really the deputy speaker that said moved the motion for their salary to be
slashed by 50%.
Yes, and it has happened.
People said it's commendable.
Yes, it is. And you see, there is something about life. Before he said that, there are many things people have believed. They believe that these House of Reps members and senators and all that, they cut home, they take home a huge sum of money. It's a mindset. But it's not so.
He talked about communication.
Yes, it's not so.
You that knows.
Yes,
most Nigerians don't know.
They need to know. They need to let others know that it is not so. All this money they're talking about, it is only people that have not really gone to find out. That you can be confusing with that. But there are very many people that will just see that these people are just eating money. Do you know that even this thing we're talking about, getting cars, bulletproof cars, that even in the House of Reps, there is no bulletproof cars to any member, you know, and things like that. But the only thing that's worrying me is that I don't know why the Senate itself has refused to talk about that salary cuts too.
Nigerians will be accusing you of holding brief for members of House of Reps.
I'm not holding brief for them. I'm saying the fact, the way it is.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello? Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome to the Matters Arising.
Yes, my name is Chris.
Chris, from where?
From Bakro.
Bakro? Okay, well, yes. Go ahead.
Council, Abuja.
Go ahead with your comment, Kwali.
What I want to contribute here sometimes, it's like government also help the youth to make this protest to be in exist.
Okay.
Because why? Do you know that sometimes if a child is crying or maybe a child wants something, we say, don't do this or don't do this. That's what the child will like to do. The government are calling the protesters not to protest. And they know the protesters, there's something in what is troubling them. The only way to find a solution, but not to tell them to protest or they should not go to social area or this. Just find a way, just as a palliative, something like that.
Okay.
To melt their mind.
Thank you.
That's what is happening for how many days? Nobody, no movement, nobody is doing anything. We are losing. All of us are losing. Both Nigerians, the masses, and the government, everybody are losing.
Okay.
So I appreciate you people for this program.
Thank you.
That you people can be able to help us to reach to the government.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And have a good night.
Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening rest You too.
You see that
you mentioned earlier on, and I feel so concerned. The lethargic behavior of government in terms of engaging with young people. House of Reps, everybody has been talking about House of Reps. Okechukwu talking about them, you talking about them, their salaries that they slashed. Do you know that on the 31st of August, last week, that's on the eve of the planned national protest, the Speaker of the House of Representatives convened a meeting with the leadership of umbrella organizations of youth organizations, numbering over 150 of them. Wow. They went there, they spoke, they engaged, they had a heart-to-heart conversation with the Speaker and the leadership of the House of Representatives. There was a special, area that was arranged for the lawmakers, and it was filled up. And at the end of the meeting, the Speaker, told them that he was going to convey their message to Mr. President. But they have complained that they have not heard anything from him ever since that meeting held. And if he had come out, according to them, if he had come out with something concrete from Mr. President, this protest, they would have gone back to their people to mitigate, this planned protest. It would not have, happened. But they also said that they told them point blank that as they were talking, because it was on the eve of the planned protest of the day one, they said they have already printed T-shirts, their members are already mobilizing, that it was getting late.
Yeah, that's correct.
But all the same, something could have done. Exactly. Could have happened.
Exactly. I mean, that makes it even more pronounced, because you see, what the kind of engagement that is required at a time like this is actually with the executive arm, not even with the legislature.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's important that the people who can talk and do, which is the executive most of the time, who can make things really happen. We're not talking about laws right now. Okay, one of the demands is about the constitution and whatever. Yeah. But that's for me. It's far-fetched. But there are other things. There are quick wins that this government can attend to on the list. So it's important that government takes it up, because there was a consensus amongst those people who spoke with us on the streets today that they want the president to speak to Nigerians.
Yes, exactly.
That's one. Another consensus was that they need to revert to the pre-subsidy removal era.
Regime,
yeah, exactly. So, and I do not know, it cannot be coincidence that most of those people are reasoning this way. In fact, somebody explained it amongst them, saying, look, indeed, before the elections, most of the parties campaigned with that issue, and Nigerians generally agreed that that was the way to go. Okay. But if you follow a path and find that it's not taking you to your desired destination, then the wisdom is to make a U-turn and find the proper path.
Okay, let's take this caller. Good evening. This is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television, live in Abuja.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. We can hear you loud and clear. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Ekiti State.
Okay, from Ekiti State. Go ahead with your comments.
What's your name?
I'm Peter Dayo.
Peter Dayo from Ekiti State. Go ahead, sir. It's your show.
From Ekiti State.
We can hear you. Turn down the volume of your TV and then make your contribution.
I don't come back. I don't have enough. Okay. Hello?
Turn down the volume of your TV and make your contribution.
I don't see it now.
It's okay. Go ahead.
It's okay. Go ahead. Talk. We can hear you.
Okay. Can you let me speak Yoruba?
Speak Yoruba. Don't worry. Speak Yoruba. It's all right. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Okay. Àwọn olórí wa ló fà á.
All right.
Kílẹ̀ ìdí tó dẹ̀ ṣe fà á ni òun náà ní pé lóòótọ́.
No, he will. Okay. What was he trying to say?
No, he was saying that all that has happened thus far is caused by the government. And he was going to explain what he means by that. He was going to expatiate before.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he didn't have much credit.
Okay, well, he said he didn't have enough credit. He didn't have much credit, but we have another caller that has more credit. Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising.
Well, good evening.
Yeah, your name, please, sir, and where you're calling from.
I'm calling you from Port Harcourt. This is Mr. Ope.
Okay, Mr. Ope.
Yes.
Okay.
What you people are discussing is very important.
Thank you.
But Nigerians are playing politics with dirtiness. The person as Senate President, he's come out and speak. The students in the school cannot say it. Instead of you to call people to order, make statement. Since I was born, I never seen they sold one bag of rice at 70,000-80,000 naira. Who would be happy to see this? And Onubogu from Macauley State come out and speak Kana as he's not a Senate President. It's a dirty political play. Dr. Tedeniso may so rest in peace make statement. Say politics is not for boys, it's for men. I don't see any men in the House of Representatives. It's very dirty, it's very bad. It's very, very shameful for Nigerian president to come out and say what he's not supposed to say. And people in the market condemn what he said. Please, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ope. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Yes,
I don't know whether that thing was real, because I heard it too. I don't know whether he was joking or what, but it was a dangerous thing to say. That what it means is that
who was that?
Where they said the president.
Okay.
When
he said, as they are protesting, let them allow us to be eaten.
To be eaten.
Yeah, he said so. He was quoted.
It's ridiculous.
Joke, but then such a joke is a very dangerous one at a time like this.
I think he has a way of, addressing issues off track.
Yeah, exactly.
Serious national issues. The Senate President will come out, with verbosity.
Exactly.
And then out of context.
Such emptiness.
It trivializes serious issues.
And I think that Nigerians should no longer take it as jokes. Those are not jokes.
They are not jokes.
You can't be hitting on people's pain. You can't be joking with people's pain. And then you say it's joke. It's not acceptable. And I think right now, the authorities and the party, his party, need to begin to hold him to account, because the frequency of such verbosity is disturbing.
Okay.
We just had when he talked to a fellow senator and was saying we're not in a nightclub.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't speak to somebody's wife and a senator of the Federal Republic.
And that is number 3 citizen of the country. On that note, we are going to take a short break. When we return, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. Say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world. We're not just bragging, we know our onions in the world of broadcasting. One of our outlets to express ourselves to the world is our flagship program, Matters Arising. Join veteran broadcaster Ruben Okala and our crack team live.
And they give us a high price, and we just say, Nigeria, we ready.
As I said earlier, the lyrics is up, talking about the old new national.
On KAFTAN TV, Startimes channel 480 and 124, as well as NIGCOMSAT frequency 12518, symbol rate 29500, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. live. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 0802-993-8365. It's dramatic and insightful. Don't miss it. Please join us. When we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world. We're not just bragging, we know our onions in the world of broadcasting. One of our outlets to express ourselves to the world is our flagship program, Matters Arising. Join veteran broadcaster Ruben Okala and our crack team live.
And they give us a high price, and we just say, Nigeria, we ready.
As I said earlier, the lyrics is up, talking about the old new national.
On KAFTAN TV, Startimes channel 480 and 124, as well as NIGCOMSAT frequency 12518, symbol rate 29500, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. live. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 0802-993-8365. It's dramatic and insightful. Don't miss it. Please join us. Just joining us, this is Matters Arising, live from KAFTAN television studios in Abuja, precisely in Katampe. And we're here discussing the day 2 of the planned protest that is expected to last for 10 days. And before we went on that break, the report has just reached us that the National Security and Civil Defense Corps, on the day of nationwide protest, FCT Commandant Olushola Odumosun inspected critical national assets in Abuja and praised residents, for their compliance in safeguarding these facilities. He visited multiple locations, including railway corridors, and expressed satisfaction with the absence of vandalism. Engineer Joseph Akinte of FCTS Transport Directorate commended the National Civil Security and Civil Defense Corps for their diligent security efforts. However, Odumosu denounced recent attacks on motorists and burning of vehicles, emphasizing the Corps' stance against destruction of government property during protest. Guys, my concern is that Nigeria has a tradition, has a culture of protest. Every country has its own, way its people do protest. We all know in this country, borrowing from what happened on the 8th of August 2020, in particular the NSAS protest. We know how it ended. It was hijacked. There was hoodlums were let loose, and there was destruction of property, and people died.
Yep.
In the same vein, in the last count, 21 people have died in Nigeria, and over 71, people were injured, and over 1,156 arrests were made. So government knew, security agents knew, everybody knows that this thing could be hijacked because there is widespread hunger in the land. Once people are hungry and there is opportunity for looting, of course they will loot. If there's opportunity to create mayhem, of course they will create mayhem. So my concern is, why was it allowed to happen? The notice were given for over 1 month. Government was just silent, and there was lethargic behavior from authorities, and today this is what we're having.
No,
Please, before let's take this caller.
Government was threatening.
Okay, government was not lethargic. Government was threatening. Let's take this caller. Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, government was not silent. Government was threatening the people, trying to threaten the daylight out of the protesters, saying everything you can think of. Don't try it because it will lead to something that's not okay. How would you know that it will lead to something else when it has not happened? And they want to make reference to NSAS. Yes, I agree with that. But then, is it not when you talk to them better that they will look at it and know how to handle it? But we weren't seeing it. We weren't seeing it. They were threatening everybody that wants to say one thing or the other.
Okay.
But we had about arrest from like that.
Hello, good evening. This is Matters Rising from KAFTAN TV Live.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, from Port Harcourt. Go ahead. Your name, please?
The first lady on the program.
My name is Gift. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Gift, we celebrate you because you are the first female caller. Go ahead.
Wow, I'm happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, based on the topic of this evening, the protest, Mr. President don't want to say anything about the protest. But since 1 month they have given a notice to the nation about the protest, and he kept quiet to know what our youth want us to do. Mr. President should just say something about this protest because we all are dying of hunger. Imagine a plate of garri ourselves. Imagine someone that has 5 kids at home or 6. A plate of garri is 3,000, 3,500. We cannot even know where to start. And the Mr. President don't want to do anything about the protest, about the information that we're giving to Nigeria since 1 month now. What is he expecting from Nigeria youth? Is he expecting them to come in violence, or is he expecting us to finish in hunger? Or he wants to know what the Nigerian youth will come and do after all the information he has passed. Do you think that the Nigerian youth 5 years ago is still the Nigerian youth? Please, we are not happy about what Mr. President is doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gift.
So much.
Yeah.
She has raised, valid issues.
Yeah.
Said she's not happy with what the government is doing. That's it.
Nobody's
and honestly, many people are not happy. As I said, they were threatening people. In actual fact, the government aides were also making things worse. I remember on Nanuga Dayo that started saying that it was P2P that he would blame.
We don't need to go back to that.
So please, you said the government was silent. The government was not silent.
That's why I said the government was lethargic.
They were just doing things that were not supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Such things.
I think that it is clear, and government, if they're listening, should make up their minds to do something to resolve this.
Dayo, hold your thought. You're going to continue from there.
Yeah.
This caller has been calling since.
Right.
Good evening. This is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Mr. Dayo, Peter, calling from Ekiti State.
Okay, go ahead with your contribution.
Peter. Yes, call before.
I want to speak Yoruba.
Okay, the same Peter. Okay, go ahead.
So, ìkan tó ní pé àwọn olórí wa wọn ò lóòótọ́. Ìdí tí wọ́n ti sọ fún lóòótọ́ ni pé ní 1979 nígbà tí bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀ tó ń campaign ó tòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan tó máa ṣe ṣùgbọ́n àwọn aríjẹ níbi ìdàrú náà jẹ́ kó wọlé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a wá wo àwọn ilé ìnísìn wọ́n campaign nǹkan tó bá ti ní wọ́n máa ṣe nígbà tó ń campaign tó bá ti wọlé tán wọn ò ní ṣe. Ìyí jẹ́ nọ́mbà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìjọba wa yìí tó wọ́n ní ìjọba alágbádá ìjọba àwa ara wa ni. Báwo la ti wá ṣe bí ìjọba ológun? Kò mú inú ìlú rárá. Alẹ́ni tó wà ń tẹ̀ nígbà tó campaign ó ní àwa ló pọ̀ inú wa dùn pé tọmọ wa bá débẹ̀ ó máa ti dáadáa. Why? Ó mọ gbogbo àwọn ìṣòro tó jẹ́ kó dúdú kọ Nàìjíríà tó òun gbọ́dẹ̀ tọ́mìtì pé tóun bá débẹ̀ òun máa ṣe. Ókè bí Thursday tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa búra fún wọlé ó yọ sọ́sídì kúrò. Ó ní ìbọn tí wọ́n ti yẹ eléyìí.
Okay, thank you.
Adówó mọ́tò ni. Bá sọ̀rọ̀ adówó mọ́tò ni. Ókè kí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà wọ́n dẹ̀ ń pariwo. Ṣé kò yẹ kó òun náà rí sí? Bóyá ó dẹ̀ máa dáwó sọ́sídì yẹn kó dà padà.
Okay.
Ìbàdàn kan
Ọṣẹ.
Peter, ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ṣẹ́gun, Mr. Petelu, what was he saying?
All he's saying is that government, this particular government, is not being sincere with the people. That the promises they made to the people, they are not implementing. He made a comparison with the time of Awolowo. Awolowo will tell the truth. During the 79 elections, he told the Nigerians what exactly he was going to do if he gets into office. He said, but he was manipulated out. And then he's saying that these people, these particular ones, promised certain things, and they were happy that when he said our local, that is, it's our turn, that they were happy that, oh, our son will get there and make the needed difference.
And make life better.
And make life better. But that they are surprised that this is what is turning.
Okay, let's take the another caller. Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television.
Yeah.
Your name, please, where you're calling from, and make your contribution snappy. Where you are is not.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. I am with Christopher Solomon.
Okay, turn down the volume of your TV set, please. Could you help us with that? Turn down the volume.
Yeah.
Turn down the volume, Solomon.
Yeah, I am Comrade Christopher Solomon.
Go ahead, comrade.
From Kaduna.
Go ahead, comrade. Go ahead with your comment. Make it snappy in 30 seconds.
It's just unfortunate that we find ourselves in this mess.
Excuse me.
I remember when all of us were singing or were busy singing choruses in favor of this same president, that he has been tested and we have every right to trust him. You can see the side effects now. You can see it. We were comparing him with the singular state that this man held as the governor. And because he had the support of some people to make Lagos to be what it is today, we now give him all the glory. Now you can see what is happening today. I want to say in a loud voice that please, sectionalism should be eradicated in our nature in this country, Nigeria.
Okay.
Even the protests you are talking about, look at the way things are going. They have politicized it. The youth are supposed to come with one voice. But what is happening down south may be different from what's happening in the other side, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So I want to state in a loud voice here that kudos to the youth. That is one. Aluta continue.
Okay, thank you.
And secondly, we want to appeal that the government, please, for the interest of peace, people are dying. People are dying. They should listen to the youth, please.
Okay, thank you.
Listen to the youth.
Thank you, Solomon.
We don't have the law for this country. We don't have any other country to, to govern. This is our country, and we have to establish it together.
Okay, the leaders are hearing you because this is their channel. Thank you so much, Solomon, for your contribution from Kaduna. Solomon, you have heard what he said. I quite agree with him. Everybody is complaining. There's from all the callers, we have about 9 callers. There seems to be a consensus.
Yeah, clearly.
Including those that you interviewed earlier on when you went
Exactly. There's that consensus. And even the people we spoke to in an in-house program yesterday, that's the major. So I think that government must really wake up and take it up as a responsibility. Somebody has even compared the president to being a father. Of course, you will not throw your child away because he's making any demands. And so I think that the president must be encouraged by all who have his ears to say, please listen to your people. I mean, we're the reason why he's president. Without the people, he can't be president. And so if he's the president, he needs to really speak with us, and he needs to make a difference.
Well, let's take this caller. Hello, good evening. This is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
I will not mention my name because I'm a personnel.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to talk about this protest. I think the government allowed this protest to come to this level.
Okay.
They will have simply addressed it before it comes to this level. Then trying to threaten them, and with those language they use, they are strengthening the youth and Nigeria to go into this protest. Secondly, our president is supposed to be a father to everybody. And if a son is hungry or is passing through hardship, the son or the children have the right to complain and make a demand. So he would have come out as a father and address the children, the nation as a father. But that he refused to do, and that is one of the problems we are having in this country right now.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your good work.
Everybody keeps saying the president has to talk.
Exactly.
The president has to talk. And the president is not talking. Let me tell you, if I was if I was an advisor to Mr. President, I would walk up to him at my age and level and time now. I walk to him and say, Mr. President, sir, everybody is saying you are the father of this nation, which is true. Speak to Nigerians. They have about 15 demands. Take about 5. As like you said, the hanging fruits, the low-hanging fruits, the quick wins. Tell them that you are going to implement this with immediate effect. Those ones that can go through medium term, tell them, and then those ones that can roll out, after in a long term plan, within a long term plan, tell Nigerians. But speak to Nigerians.
Someone said that when he came in that same day, he said that subsidy is gone, and immediately after, the prices of everything just went up.
Yes.
Especially fuel.
Everything.
So, and nobody disturbed him then. He still has the right now to say, okay, let's return this subsidy, but maybe let fuel now become, petrol now become 400 naira instead of the high thing. That it will still be the same thing. But then I even have a problem with that, because knowing our businessmen, these people selling fuel, if he even brings it down to 400 now, they will lock up everywhere. They say no.
Scarcity.
Yes, and they say no, because the one we bought it at a higher price. How can we come down? And when you bought it at a lower price and sold it so high, no problem. So the problem is even a multifaceted one. Even if he says today, let it come down to 500, who would agree to sell at that 500? Unless it's NNPC. Apart from that, the other ones will refuse to sell. They always want to get the gain, but they don't want to put in anything.
No, see, I think I disagree on that score, because you see, businesses open to make profit, and then you will never look at an option of making loss and embrace it. No businessman is going to do that. If you want that kind of thing to happen, you want to bring it down to like 300 or 400, you must give it a space of time. You would say, okay, we will start selling
That's
at
just a period of
400
time.
after the
From
next
September.
4 weeks. So that within this space of time, they would sell at this current price and recover their costs and make some profit before the new prices will take effect. I think that's the only way that can.
Okay, so let's take this caller. Good evening. This is Matters Arising from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead. Your name, please. Where you're calling from, and you make your comments.
I'm calling from Kogi State.
Okay.
I'm not mention my name.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from Inampa in Kogi State.
The Gala man. Go ahead with your contribution.
So, we have a lot of problems since the genesis of our independence.
Okay.
Right from the genesis of our independence.
Yeah, we know.
The problem that we're having is from our leaders. Okay. What I want you people to know is that those people at the National Assembly, they don't even study the Constitution of Nigeria and also the history of Nigeria. History of Nigeria.
Go ahead.
In protests like this, right from the genesis of Nigeria, the creation of Nigeria, in protests like this, it will play with other people they will connect, and they will not even listen to that form the protest that have our own interests.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
So they know what is happening, and even from the National Assembly, both the National Assembly and the president, they know what is happening.
Thank you.
Instead of them to put our own hands to them, instead of them to put the interests of us in their hands, they will not.
Okay. He's talking about the same thing we're talking about.
Well, since he's just mentioned that, I need to say that we need to applaud the members of the House of Reps. I keep saying this.
Yes.
We need to applaud these people. They are the serious-minded people we have seen in that tier of
I think I concur with you.
Yes,
I agree with you.
Sector of government.
I agree with
we need
you
to applaud
entirely.
them.
Yeah.
And they have made wise statements, taken beautiful actions, as you said, that the speaker with his EXCO met with all these young people. So they have been doing something. I want to say, may they continue doing it, because they are also young people anyway. Okay. May they continue, because with that, we have a hope that the future will be better than what we have now. Yeah. But then for other things that we are hearing, I know that if our president agrees to speak to the people, to address these matters, that something better could come. But till then, anyway, we pray that for as many as are involved, that they will be protected, even as some governors have asked the police to help protect these people. And we also need to acknowledge the work of the Nigeria police. You see, they have done well. Of course, yes, there are some few areas where it didn't work out well. But on the average, Nigeria police has done well.
Okay, let's take this caller. This is our last caller. Good evening. This is Matters Arising. Good evening. Your last caller tonight. Please go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Lawal. I'm calling from Badagry.
Go ahead, Lawal from Badagry.
My own basis of saying this protest is in another way. One, when the subsidy was removed in last year, I think the federal government increased the allocation of the state government. What are our state government, what are these federal applications to do?
Okay.
The government tried, the calculation was dropped. They could not see the question and the threat on citizens. So now, next time, we don't need to protest in the nationality. We have to put up to our state.
Okay.
So, but we should hold our state government responsible.
And accountable.
For instance, they do in Edo State now. The palliative that they keep there. What the government, why are they keeping that palliative? When states are suffering. So now, when we are protesting in national level, also, we have to hold all these our state government responsible. The reason is that what are they used? The double aggregation is collected.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
How Nigeria are protesting, right?
Yes.
But I personally, I'm a neutral protester. I don't support the protest, and I don't against the protest.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lawal. You heard what Lawal said. As a wind down, we have to Lawal's comments and give our parting shots in 20-40 seconds. I'm starting with you.
Well, that take by that man, if I heard him right, he said it's not against and it's not for. It's not for. So
protester,
it's very, very, very funny. Well, as we close, we will just need to. I personally would want to reiterate the voices of millions of Nigerians, the yearnings of millions of Nigerians, to the effect that Mr. President needs to speak with us, because that one voice is able to soothe, to calm nerves, and to be a balm that will soothe every frayed nerves. So I think that I'll leave it there.
Okay. What is?
Well,
30 seconds.
Just leave it there. Since he said he thinks we will leave it there, I leave it there. All I want to say is that the police, you have done well. Please keep doing good. That's one thing I need to say. The federal, what do you call it? That word? Nigerian security.
Yeah, the civil defense. Yes.
All of you, just keep doing well.
Right.
And there are a few that didn't do well. Please repent of that. You have not done well.
Well, my take is that I've interviewed young people and I asked them direct questions because their political demographic is the youth demographic, and they have ministers, just like all of us have ministers representing us. There are ministers of youth development or youth affairs, and I asked them point blank, they are undergraduates, whether they know the name of their ministers, and they pointedly told me they don't know the name of ministers of youth affairs. If you don't know the name of your minister, that means the minister does not have media visibility, and if he lacks media visibility, it shows that he's not doing enough for him to be known or her to be known. On that note, this is how far we can go on our package tonight on Matters Arising. We thank our esteemed viewers and our vibrant callers for making the program interactive. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team in the MCR that made the program possible, I remain yours truly, Macauley Hunohashi, saying good night and see you next time.
Dayo, Omoogun, good night.
I am Okechukwu Onubogu. May God keep us alive till we meet again.
And as we say on KAFTAN television, imagine a beautiful world.